Hello students. So this is our unit 5th ecology and chapter is organisms and populations. First of all we must understand what ecology is. Ecology is the branch of biology that deals with the interrelationship amongst organisms and interactions between organisms and their environment. Organisms interact with all the components of environment, namely atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere, etc. So in this chapter, we learn about levels of ecological organizations, population and population interactions. The term ecology is believed to be coined by Ernst Haeckel in 1969, though its first authentic use was made by Rater in 1885. So two other terms equivalent to ecology are hexecology and ethology. The hierarchy in the fields of organization connected with ecological grouping of organisms is called ecological hierarchy or ecological levels of organization. There is no clear-cut breaks in the functional sense amongst various levels of ecological hierarchy, as the same individual is a component of population, biological community as well as ecosystem. So first of all we'll study about individual, then a group of individual are going to make population, then biotic community is formed and then ecosystem is formed, then landscape and then biome and biosphere is formed. These are the definitions of some terms like ecology and ecological hierarchies. So first of all, we learn what ecology is. Ecology is the branch of science that deals the relationship between organism and their physical and biological environment. Then levels of organization in ecology are, first of all, there is organism, living organism of environment at individual level. Then species, group of individuals which resemble each other and interbreed amongst themselves. And there is population. So population is the grouping of similar individuals in a particular geographical area or space. The different population of the same organism present in particular geographical areas are called local populations. A local population adapted genetically to its particular environment is called the ecotype. And then next is community, group of population of species present in geographical area interacting with themselves. Then ecosystem, it is the segment of nature consisting of a biological community and its physical environment, both interacting and exchanging materials as well as energy. For example, pond ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, and then there is landscape. It is a unit of land distinguished by a natural beauty and having patches of different ecosystems. For example, southern peninsula, and then this biome, a large regional unit delimited by a specific climatic zone having a particular major vegetation zone and its associated fauna, for example tundra desert, temperate deciduous forests, tropical rainforest and ocean, etc. And likewise, next to it is biosphere. It is biologically inhabited part of earth along with its physical environment consisting of lower atmosphere, land and water bodies. So these are the different biological hierarchies from lower level to highest level. This picture is showing ecological hierarchy. First of all, there is individual, that is organism, and then it's a grouping of similar individuals in a particular geographical area, that is population. Then community, interaction among populations, different populations, and then biotic community, ecosystem and then biome and biosphere, etc. Biosphere I have already told you, it's biologically limited inhabited part of earth along with its physical environment consisting of lower atmosphere, land and water bodies. Sun is the source of both light and temperature. Solar radiations fall vertically in tropical areas. They are oblique in temperate and polar regions. Rotation of Earth and the tilt of its axis causes seasonal changes. These variations together with variations in precipitation means rain or snow, produce major terrestrial biomes of the world. So annual variations in the intensity and duration of temperature and precipitation are responsible for the formation of major biomes of the world. Major biomes of the world are tropical forest, deciduous forest, coniferous forest, grasslands, deserts, Arctic and alpine tundra, etc. So in this slide, we'll study about environmental factors, the constituents of environment which directly or indirectly influence the form and functioning of organisms in any specific way are known as environmental or ecological factors. There are of two types, abiotic factors and biotic factors. The abiotic factors affect the structure, life history, physiology and behavior of the organisms, and the biotic factors mostly influence growth and reproduction. So abiotic factors, the most important abiotic factors of the environment are temperature, water, light and soil, and biotic factors are pathogens, parasite, predators and competitions, etc. First of all, we'll study about abiotic factors, then temperature. Temperature is the temperature or the degree of hotness, and coldness is the most relevant environmental factor. The average temperature varies seasonally. It ranges from sub-zero level in polar areas and high altitudes to more than 50 degrees Celsius in tropical deserts in summer, etc. So there are two types of organisms. There are eurythermal organisms and stenothermal organisms, and there are poikiotherms organisms and um, homeothermals. So first of all, we'll study eurythermal organisms. Eurythermal organisms are those organisms which can tolerate a wide range of temperature variations, just like most mammals and birds, etc. And stenothermal organisms are those organisms which live within narrow range of temperature because of their requirement of nearly constant temperature throughout the year. For example, polar bear, lizards, amphibians, etc. Likewise, ectothermal organisms, animals are called poikiothermals or cold-blooded animals. These are the organisms which their body temperature varies with temperature of the environment. And there are birds and mammals are endothermic. Endothermic because they keep their body temperature constant despite changes in environmental temperature. Endothermic animals are also called homeothermals or warm-blooded animals. Just like next factor is water. Important factor influence the this is the important factor which influence the life of organisms. The productivity and distribution depends upon water. For aquatic organism, chemical composition, pH, salinity and temperature of water are very important. So pH, we all know that in acidic medium animals cannot survive, and in very basic medium is same animals cannot survive. And euryhaline, the organism which can tolerate wide range of salinity are called euryhaline organisms, means they can remain in high salt concentration. And stenohaline, again the organism which can tolerate narrow range of salinity are called stenohaline organisms. Next factor is light. Light is the visible part of electromagnetic spectrum, that is 390 to 740 nanometer. Solar radiations have a wavelength of 300 to 2600 nanometers. Photosynthetically active radiations, commonly called PAR, have a range of 400 to 700 nanometers. Radiations below the visible light are ultraviolet radiations, while those above the visible light are infrared or heat waves. You all know about these, you have learned these all in physics. Amount of light and its intensity vary with latitude and season. Light intensity, light duration and light quality influence a number of life processes of organisms. Just like photosynthesis, you all know light is essential for photosynthesis. So the amount of photosynthesis depends upon quality, intensity and duration of light. Then growth. It is favored by increased availability of food, moderate light intensity and red light. So next is transpiration. Stomata generally open in light and close in darkness. Because of it, light promotes transpiration. Transpiration is further enhanced by heating effect of light. Just like germination, pigmentation, and movements of the animals or plants, and daily rhythm in animals, if they are diurnal, they are nocturnal, and photoperiodism. So photoperiodism in detail we will study in plant physiology. It is the response of organism to number and duration of day length. Organisms show three types of responses. So we'll study in detail in plant physiology. Just like a light zone in aquatic habitats, and there are photic zones and aphotic zones. Just like in aphotic zone there is benthic zone. Producers don't occur in this part, मतलब बिल्कुल समुद्र में बिल्कुल नीचे जहाँ पे plants बिल्कुल भी present नहीं होते हैं. Instead only consumers are found. This is called benthic zone. And next important part is soil. Soil is the nature and properties of soil depend upon climate, withering process, and the physical and chemical properties of soil determine the types of plants that can grow in particular habitat. So the characteristics of the bottom sediments of aquatic environment determine type of benthic animals that can live there. So there are different zones in soil, O horizon, A horizon, and B horizon, and C horizon, and soil types are also there. Different types of soil types are there, just like red soils, black soils, terreal soils, alluvial soils. So different soils have different types of vegetation. As I've told you that light zone has three parts: photic, aphotic and benthic zones. First of all, I will tell you about photic zone. Photic zone, it is the upper part of limnatic zone in which light can penetrate. Depth is up to 200 meters. The upper part of photic zone, called euphotic zone, receives light more than the compensation point. Its depth is 20 to 80 meters. The lower part of photic zone, called dysphotic zone, receives light at or below the compensation point. Blue light, being made of short wave radiations, can reach the deepest. Red light has poor permeability. In sea, the green algae remain near the surface, brown algae in intermediate depths, and red algae flourish the deepest part in the photic zone. Next is aphotic zone. So it is the zone of deep water below the photic zone and above the bottom to which light doesn't penetrate. The zone is therefore having perpetual darkness. Producers don't occur in this part. Then there is benthic zone. It is the bottom zone in deep lakes, seas. The bottom is also in perpetual darkness, but in shallow waters, light does penetrate.